to another episode of Living Big with Big Reg. Today, we are not talking Ravens, but tomorrow night we will, as my show for 8:15 will still be on. Tune in, we'll talk Ravens tomorrow. But today, this is something that's been on my mind for a while, and I haven't had the chance to get around to it, but it needed to be talked about. Um, Marvel. Did Marvel fumble the bag when it comes to the Echo series? Did Marvel fumble the bag? Mr. J, what's good, sir? How you doing? Hope all is well. Hope you're having yourself a blessed day. Did Marvel fumble the bag when it comes to the Echo series? Now, they did a number of things differently this time around than what they do with any series. Starting off with, they released it all at once. Now, I was a proponent of I'm paying you to be able to see what I want when I want. So when you're coming up with these new series, release it immediately, the whole thing, and just let me binge watch it. And that was my standpoint on it. But for some reason, watching Echo, I binge watched it. I watched the entire series. Watching it, I felt like there was something missing. There was, whether it be a lack of cliffhanger at the end of each episode or something to, it was missing the need and want of something to look forward to. Um, Now this could be because we're used to they drop an episode and we gotta wait a week to see the next one, or it could be because of what the series was. I don't know, but this was a good experiment on dropping it all at once, letting us binge watch through it. Everybody can get their thoughts, and I'm gonna watch the entire series again just to get a kind of second take on it. I already started it again. I haven't finished it yet, but I finished it the original time through. And more, yes, more, and that's what the series needs. The series needs more because it left me wanting, left me needing more. Not from a standpoint of yo, that was so good that I need another series. It left more of like why why didn't you have more into what the series was, and not like good question marks, as crazy as it sounds, because we know Marvel has been, especially with Loki just finishing up, Marvel knocked it out of the park with Loki, the Loki series. But I don't know, man. They just I feel like whether it be the episode should have been longer or they should have had a few more, there was something missing. And I'm gonna get into different breakdowns of what I think was missing and why. First off, make sure you like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Comment. If you're not watching it live, leave a comment when you watch the replay. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings about this series. If you've watched it yet. If you haven't watched it, major spoiler alert coming. So let me give you the heads up now. Major spoiler alert coming. Please go check on that. Go watch it. But I'll try to give my breakdown of the series without spoiling too much, just in case. But I decided to wait on this video for as long as I have to make sure plenty of people had time to watch it before I put this out. Now, back to it. Let's talk about it. starts off and it's showing the opening through like my daughter was thrown for a loop watching it. That's just how mystical the opening was. And I'm watching it and it was actually intriguing to me because I'm into these type of tales and history and stuff like that. I love watching that stuff and learning about it. I'll get into this in a second because that has a lot to do with what the problem with this series was, right? So I'm gonna get into that in a second. Great question. Great question. So it opens up. It's showing the history of the Choctaw tribe and her family. Then it breaks into them. They become clay, and the clay falls off. They become human, and she takes care of the tribe. And as the series continues, they show these different historical moments from the tribe and the family. Beautiful. I love every single thing about that. You'll never find a point where I don't look at something historical, especially when it's this accurate. Where these are, if you've spoken to someone or you've heard the stories, this is how they used to tell them. So they've depicted it beautifully. I love it. I would never change any of that stuff about it. Right. The thing for me was you can't give me a taste of the family's history like that in each episode like you did, but not touch more on her family members that are still around. Her cousin Biscuit, for one. Funny, I thought he should have had an expanded role. I really liked his role. He was a funny character. Seemed interesting. Give me a little bit of a backstory on Biscuit. Give me a little bit on her grandmother. Right? We know what happened with her mom. You give me nothing on her mom, other than that her mother passed in a car accident. I need more. Give me more of her family history, right? Did her mom go through this connection? Was her mom experiencing these things when she had her daughter, when she had her? These are questions we're going to be stuck with now because Marvel decided it wasn't worth answering in the series. And it's really what the series should have been about. You're introducing us to someone who's basically a new character, right? She's been there, but she's been in the background. You're bringing her to the forefront. You want her to be more. You have to do a thorough introduction. Look what you did with Loki. Look what you did with all these other ones. And I think the mistake you make there is if you don't give us more of the character, how can we lean into her turn from being evil to good? How can we really buy that that's what it is because you don't give us enough depth? I need more depth when I'm looking into my characters. And Jay says, do you think this is going to mess up Daredevil Born Again? I don't think it's going to mess up Daredevil Born Again. I think it's going to completely skip. I think Daredevil Born Again is going to completely skip over Echo in it of herself. Maybe have her appear in an episode. Maybe. From fandom.com. But stop. Echo, stop. See, you see what happens? I can't keep saying that name. But I think going to somewhat of a bearing technical issues here. Okay, we had to switch cameras. Apparently my other camera just went out. That is fine. Anyway, I do believe that Marvel's kind of glance over this series. They shouldn't, but I think they will. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's one of those things where you're left kind of they put themselves in a situation that they can't necessarily get out of, right? You bring in you bring in this show, and they kind of took the show and used it as it didn't even feel like it was the main story of the show. The show felt like the biggest problem for me. The show felt like it was more the history of Kingpin than it was about her, right? It was more about Kingpin and his change and his climb to being what looks like he's going to run for office soon, if you've seen the ending. So they put too much Kingpin in it. They made the whole thing about bringing down Kingpin and all that and his corruption. And then they also had Daredevil in there. We didn't need Daredevil in there. We didn't need to waste a whole episode like a part on that. We didn't need to waste a part on Daredevil. We didn't need to waste all those episodes on the Kingpin. For what? Why do we need to know how it was that he got over, the haunting of his father abusing his mother? Why we don't need a Kingpin backstory. We have a Kingpin backstory. We know what it was with Kingpin already. We know where he came from, what he was doing, where he was going. We have all that. Especially when you decided like Jay brought up before, all of those Netflix shows being canon, that means Daredevil from Netflix was canon, which means we have Kingpin's backstory. So why are you giving him another one? It's the same exact one on top of that. Same exact backstory. So your mistake, Marvel, was telling us, using this show to tell us more about Kingpin. Why? I want to know more about the Chocolate Tribe. I want to know what other powers she has. What other abilities can she continue to um, grow her connection with her ancestors? What does it do other than help her survive certain situations? Does it make her stronger, faster? You know, what is she gaining from it? Like, I need an in-depth. This should have been an in-depth breakdown of her family history and what it did for each member every time they connected. Because all I got from it was when the grandmother said, "Whenever we've needed help, our ancestors reached out to help us." But at the end, or in the last episode, she shows that power to not only channel it herself, but share that strength with her friend and her grandmother who are there in danger. So how's that going to work? How do you not show us the growth in that? I mean, you told us what she's daring. She's hurt by everything she's been through, and she feels betrayed, right? By Kingpin being the one to have her father murdered. But that's it. That's it. That's not. You didn't give us. You know what I mean? You could at least give us a training montage of her learning everything and becoming this, you know, magnificent fighter, not just somebody who took karate classes as a kid all through her life growing up. That's what? No special training? So you're telling me this young girl who is indeed deaf only took standard karate classes from childhood up and is somehow able to fight with Daredevil with no problem. Like, just put on an absolute show, right? Her skills are amongst the best, better than everybody else. But we don't know how she got there, right? And that's the problem with this series. I want to love it, right? Like I said, I'm gonna watch it again, and I want to love it. But I don't think I can, and it's Marvel's fault. Now it's not all. Don't take this as it's a bad show. It's not a bad show. I think they just told the wrong story. It's a bad introduction to a character, but a pretty good. It's a pretty good show. I don't have a problem with how the show is. They have a good amount of downtime between fights, between action scenes, so you get to take in a little more, you know, of her interacting. Now, for those of you who don't know, she is deaf, so it's a lot of sign language, and so it's not as you're not hearing the talking as much. So it seems like it's a little quiet at times, but that's how it's supposed to be. So I love that, right? I love that they stuck to that. The way that went, beautiful. But and they had the perfect amount, like I said, between of downtime between fights. So it's not too much quietness. There's not too much action going on. It was a good. It was evenly spread out. But again, I think they told the wrong story. Um, I didn't realize that she hadn't talked to her best friend that entire time until the best friend said it at the end of the show. Go figure. She sent her the text, you know, hey, you don't have to go through this alone when her father passed. But you never touched on it after that or before that, for that matter. Last we've seen of anything with her and her best friend was when she was leaving with her dad, and she was saying that her best friend's supposed to come with her too, or her cousin. Sorry, her cousin slash, but she called her sisters or her cousin. So what do you? I mean, what do you want me to garner from that? Like, what I need to learn. I need to know the uncle that was the crime boss out there. What's his connection? What's his backstory? What about the dude that turned on him and sold him out? What's his backstory? Why did he sell him out? Was he a terrible boss? How did they become owners of the skating rink? Have they always done illegal work out of the skating rink? Like what? There's too many questions about the history of the people in the show for us to come up with answers on the show. We couldn't learn. I look at a lot of these Marvel series as a learning experience, right? And it's just confusion a lot of times. And Loki. Like I said, Loki was a phenomenal series. I loved it. My favorite by far. Every time they brought up a question in Loki, they answered it. And with the whole Jonathan Majors thing going on, they found a way to not only include him in the Loki series, but to write an ending that would take him out of the series if need be, with the whole case he had going on. And now, obviously, hindsight 2020, he's been fired from Marvel. They're looking to move on, maybe hire somebody else to play the King role, um, which would work. You still technically haven't had that big bad Kang, so we can see that in the future with somebody else playing the part. Now, this series is going to be on the lower rank side for me. Um, there's other series that I need to see them do again, and new ones that need to come out, and I want to see them do better than this. Daredevil Born Again has to be next level good. It has to be, because this phase has to take it up a notch, because you're starting to I think Marvel's starting to lose a little bit of their crowd interest with the big gap, but the big lapses between between shows coming out and movies. And I know we got the big one coming soon. We got the big one coming soon. Deadpool 3 is coming soon. That's this year. That comes out this year. That one's gonna be huge. Deadpool 3 is finally gonna bring X-Men into the Marvel universe. So that's gonna be a big one. But they're starting to things are slowing down for Marvel. And I don't like it because I mean they had me on a roll when they unleashed the Captain America series. Um, I want to see more of Bucky and I guess and a new Captain America. I don't know how I feel about that truthfully. But I'm also waiting to see the next season of what's my show? Um Moon Knight. Moon Knight. I need more Moon Knight. For me, that was probably my second favorite series, other than or it might be tied for first with Loki. But I loved Moon Knight too. So I need Moon Knight. I need the Midnight Suns. Give me Blade. Give me that whole group. Marvel, you got a lot of work to do, and you got to pick up the slack because. And I understand the strike and everything that's going on. I get it, but it's not just about the strike. It's about the quality. I need you to bring the quality and the quantity, right? Give us more, but give us your best. Because this series could have been something special. But if I'm going to rate it out of 5 stars, I'll give it a 1.5. Because I feel like it left too many unanswered questions. So I'm going to give it a 1.5 out of 5 stars, which hurts for me to say because I really did like the show. It just could have been so much better if you had less Kingpin and more backstory, right? And just like even Kingpin's gang took off when they were there to blow the place up. They took off and they never came back. We don't know what happened with them. We got no clue. They just drove off. Did Kingpin have them killed after that for not doing their job? Did they find somebody else to work for, or is it what's the deal? And we got Mr. Bazel in the building. What's good? What's good, sir? You came on the back end. I'm actually about to get off, but you could obviously watch the replay. Again, make sure you hit that like button, share, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on the Echo series, Marvel, where they're going, and do you think they have dropped the ball on this show? And what is the next big thing you're looking for from Marvel? For me, like I said, I need Moon Knight season 2. I need Daredevil Born Again has to be great. And Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3 is finally gonna give us what we wanted with the X-Men. So hopefully it's finally giving us what we wanted. So we need a big step up from them. Because I know a lot of people are gonna dislike this, but for me, Black Panther 2 was lacking. And I wanted that to be so great. Ooh, that's a good question. I'm gonna say Echo because she can get the power. We don't know, like I said before, the extent of what the power is that she gets from her ancestors. For Jessica Jones, we know she's just what unbreakable, pretty much. That's it, like superhuman strength. So that's it for her. But she's yeah, pretty much. That's you hit the nail on the head with that one. And you also chose Jessica to win that fight, but I think she loses it. just because she doesn't actually know how to fight. You know what I mean? She hits kicks like, normal person walking the street. Whereas Echo has actual talent. She can fight. And like I said, we don't know the extent of the power that comes from her ancestors. So I'm gonna have to go Echo because we don't know what she'll pull out the hat in that fight. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So that's my pick for that one. That was an easy one for me. What about you, Jay? What do you think, sir? You asked the question, but what do you think? Who wins that? Oh, and anybody from Marvel smashes anybody from DC any day. I don't think not one DC character can legitimately beat any Marvel character in a fight. I think Batman versus Iron Man is pretty equal, but I think Iron Man wins. But if we're staying within Marvel, like we have been, I think my hey yo, bro, bro, you tripping? And Jay says Jessica for him as well. You tripping, bro? They did because they said it was okay. They finally released themselves because of what they believe in. You tripping? Violence is back. I see that. I see that. Jessica ain't that, but listen, that's the same as saying like where did Jessica get her powers from? Her family's dead, so you know what I mean. It's the same difference. My mom is in the building. Hello, thank you for coming through. It's the same. So it's the same difference for me. But I think I'm gonna stick with my answer. No, she's not. But it's still the matter of she doesn't have skill. Like how many times did we see Jessica almost die in her series? Think about it. Go back to watch Jessica Jones. Go watch Jessica Jones again. She almost got bodied a number of times, including some dude that was like an ex that used to have mind control over her. I want you to really think about that. And then when they did the Heroes of New York or whatever series, she was the weakest link. That's the point I'm making though. That's the point I'm making though. And Luke Cage was supposed to have unbreakable skin. Stinger bullets. I'm just listen. Out of those, so tell me this. Tell me this. Out of those four, right, from those Netflix series, five, right, five. Who you taking? The four that was on the team, and then the one that wasn't on the team, which is my guy, Punisher. The Punisher wasn't part of the team. Punisher was like, "Listen, I did my time. I did what I got to do. I killed everybody I had to kill. I'm out." But of the four that was on the team, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, and my boy, why do I forget his name? The Iron Fist. Who y'all got? Like who? If y'all listen, you getting ready for a fight, you need somebody to hold you down. You got to pick one of them four. Those are the last four on the board, right? Those are the last four on the board. I say five because I'll throw Punisher in there too. So those are the last five on the board. Who you got? Who you got? Who you got? For me, it boils down to two. Actually, I don't think it does. I think it's not. I think it's just one. I think it's one person. He's gonna find a way to win. Get Give me the Punisher. I'm sorry. Give me the Punisher. I know Luke Cage is supposed to have unbreakable skin, but we seen him darn near die. So you know what I mean. The reason I want the Punisher is because he has no he has no will for death. Like he's not willing to die. The Punisher has fight in him that these other dudes just ain't got. And female. Like Jessica Jones, she wants to die. She doesn't really care about her life like that. She don't care. Listen, listen. Punisher can survive a bomb too. All right. Punisher come crawling out that he'll come crawling out that mud with half a body if he has to, and still finish the fight. Like his pain tolerance is outrageous. Yeah, exactly, exactly. His pain tolerance is crazy, crazy pain tolerance. So I'm gonna take Punisher all day, every day. I don't think I don't know, man. I don't trust Luke Cage. I don't trust him. And what makes his skin unbreakable? Because certain villains deal with that immediately. Immediately. So, and then you got him. There's too many characters out there that's like him, right? Jessica Jones, the big dude from the X Men, um, Colossus from the X Men. So yeah, that's right. He was. That's right. I forgot about that. You're absolutely right. He was. But think about that though. There's too many that's like him. Juggernaut, Colossus. There's too many characters out there that's got this super strength. Exactly. So who's to say that alien metal ain't stronger? So the history of Juggernaut is so jacked up, depending on what series X Men you watched, uh, what movies you watch for the X Men and all that. You can't. It's Juggernaut's history is so crazy because it's in one, it's like his body has a magic, has an alien magic, and then the other, it's his helmet is magic or has the power. So when you take his helmet off of him, he loses the power, and it's different ones that over history it's just like, okay, well, which one is it? Pick and choose. I get it. Different strokes for different folks, right? Different writers, different. They see things different, do things different. You know what I mean? Here, man. This here, this one here. Anyway, I so just to get a little bit back on track to end that part of the video at least. The series wasn't a mistake, but the way they did this series was a mistake. Just to give you my answer. Well, yeah, I know that. So I know he wears it because he's still vulnerable to psychic attacks, right? But if you look at certain series, right, there's a one has it where he has like a stone or an artifact that had the magic. I seen one thing where it was his helmet that contained the magic. Was it the helmet on that show? I don't remember. But yeah, he has one part. He has an artifact that has the magic. One part, one thing I saw, the power was just in him through whatever it was. That's why. That's why. He has to. I mean, Marvel has to do a better job with a lot of these backstories, and that was my problem with the show Echo. Right? Tell me more about where her power comes from, rather than just having one conversation that says, "Oh, our ancestors band together whenever they see we need help." Like, did you watch the full series yet? I'm assuming you watched the full series. I'm assuming you watched the full series. If you watch the full series of Echo, you'll see what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about. They could have did. Wow, why it gotta be trash though? Why it gotta be trash? It wasn't a trash show. It was just narrated wrong. Could have been better. I wouldn't call it trash. Do me that favor. Watch it and go do another show and say how long you think it'll take you to watch. I think it's 5 episodes. 5, 6 episodes. It's all on there. You can binge watch it, and then we'll come back, do another show in a week, maybe two, and I'll get you. We'll get you up here and get your thoughts on it. You and Jay. Ain't gonna take you 2 years to watch that. Get out of here. It's 2 years. 2 years. You see, y'all see what I do with 2 years. 2 years, he says. Well, I've already been up here 7, going on 8 minutes longer than I needed to be. I just want to give my thoughts and my feelings on that series. I probably will be doing another show um on the state of wrestling right now in WWE specifically. For those of you that would like to see that, I'll probably post a I'll probably post in the community section. We'll put a poll up. We'll see what we get. Y'all let me know because I am a wrestling fan. I do watch. I do watch weekly, actually. As crazy as that sounds. I'm just more into football than anything else. I did hear that big news of WWE, not just WWE, but Raw specifically. Raw will be airing on Netflix. That's going to be huge. That's going to be huge, and I think they're going to do a big event for it for the opening of it. And to get more into it, if anybody watched Raw this past Monday, the face off between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes is absolutely epic. Probably the best, probably the best face off I've seen in a good amount of time. And the promo was absolutely the way they orchestrated the promo. But I'll today on another stream. For now, boy is out. Checking out. Y'all have yourselves a blessed day. Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe. Oh, check out my store. Right, the link is in the description. I've added a couple new things in there. If you're a Call of Duty fan, I do have a Call of Duty inspired t-shirt. It says don't shoot, I'm lagging. Please go check it out. If you're a spiritual person, I got stuff there for you as well. My story is not just based off my YouTube channel, but off of everything I like as well. And hopefully, if I get things done correctly, maybe some Marvel inspired merch will be coming soon. But go check out the store. Definitely check out the merch. It's gonna be something you like in there. We'll get it to you as quick as possible. Beautiful material, soft, love it. All right, y'all have a good one. I love you and stay blessed. Peace.